Hey guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. My name is Sarah, and if you are looking for home-style recipes made ketogenic, then you've come to the right channel. So tonight, I am going to be making the very viral breakfast burrito bites. So come along with me and let's get started. So a lot of times, if you are watching especially short form content on the internet, TikTok, Facebook, even sometimes on YouTube, there will not be directions for something that looks very fun and exciting and viral, and that is the case for these. I saw these on multiple platforms, but no one had directions or even lists of ingredients. So I wanted to try and fix that for you and make it viral, but easy. So that is what I have done, and that's what we're making tonight. So let me show you what we're going to need. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees. You are going to need muffin tins for this recipe. I'm using disposable muffin tins just for ease, but any kind of muffin tin that you want to use is great. And I have greased mine with some avocado oil spray. Since these are breakfast burrito bites, we are going to be using low-carb tortillas. I'm going to be using the Mission Zero Carb ones. These are the street taco size, so they're very small, and they're going to fit very nicely into our muffin tins. I'm going to be using meat in mine. You wouldn't have to, you could just do eggs and cheese, but I'm going to be using meat, and I have about 2 cups of already cooked sausage here. You could use any kind of breakfast meat that you and your family enjoys, or as I said before, you could make them meatless if you have vegetarians or whatever in your household. But it does need to be cooked. So if you're using sausage, ham, bacon, whatever it is, you do need to cook it. I'm going to be using a little bit of cheese. I have about a cup here, and I might not use it all. You need 8 eggs. I am going to be seasoning with 21 Seasoning Salute. If you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, you can just use any kind of all-purpose seasoning. Every brand has one. I'm also going to be using some garlic powder. I'm going to be using just a splash of heavy cream in my eggs to give it a little bit of richness. I also have a little bit of cut up red pepper and onion that I have sauteed in my skillet. And this is about 3 strips of red pepper and about 1/4 of a cup of onion. If you don't want to put any kind of vegetables in, you wouldn't have to. Additionally, you could add other vegetables if you like something like spinach or anything like that would also be very delicious here. So sky's the limit. I'm going to be doing my egg mixture in my blender, which is what I almost always do for any kind of breakfast item, because I feel like blending up my eggs gives them some air and makes them light and fluffy. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But you could simply whisk these up in a bowl if you didn't want to do that. So the first thing that I am going to do is I am going to put 6 of my tortillas in the microwave for about 15 seconds. That warms them up a little bit, and it gives them extra flexibility for me to put them in my muffin tin. So that is my first step. Warm tortillas. So I am just going to start putting them into my muffin tin now that they're nicely warm. And it's just going to form a nice little beautiful cup. And I'm going to do that with every one, and they will kind of flute themselves. That's why it's helpful to have your tortillas slightly warmed up, just because they are a little bit more pliable that way. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the other 6, and I'll be right back. So I have also seen this recipe made with whole tortillas, and the person either cut them in strips and fed them into the muffin tin, or I've also seen recipes where they cut them with like a cookie cutter or something and made them fit in. If you don't have access to the smaller street tortillas, you could absolutely do this. I have seen these at every grocery store I frequent, so hopefully you can find them also in your area. Sometimes these particular Mission ones in the street taco size come in flavors also, like sun-dried tomato and such, and that would also be delicious here if that's something that you enjoyed. So I made a prototype of this yesterday because, as I stated before, a lot of times viral videos do not have directions. So I needed to practice and find out what ingredients I needed, temperature, time, etc. And my 14-year-old ate 4 of them. So these should go over very well with your children or grandchildren. All right, so I've got all of my tortillas prepared, and I'm going to go ahead and fill them with my meat, veg, and cheese, and then we'll do the eggs. I am just loading my meat in first, and you can, put however much you would like, but you want to try not to overfill them because, we have other ingredients that are going to go in. And I have found that probably about a tablespoon or so of meat is plenty based on the ones I made yesterday. And as I said before, you could absolutely customize these. The ones that I made for my 14-year-old just had the meat and the cheese because she's not much for peppers. She'll eat them if she doesn't know they're in there, but because they're red, she wouldn't know. And she watched me making them, so I just made hers without. So you can customize these for kids or, for people who have food preferences, of course. All right, there's the meat. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of veg in each one. If you liked things spicy, you could put some cut up jalapenos or serrano peppers or something like that if you wanted them to be spicy. These would also be awesome with green chilies if you wanted to do kind of a Southwest idea. That would be delicious as well. So next I'm going to do the cheese. I found by doing my prototype recipe, if I put the cheese on after the egg, then it formed kind of a hard crust, and it was a little bit more difficult for the egg to cook from underneath. So I found that putting the cheese in first before the egg kind of helped alleviate that a bit. And you can use, of course, any kind of cheese that you would like. But these would be also delicious without, if you have problems with cheese. These would be wonderful for meal prep, and they can also be frozen. All right, I'm gonna start cracking my eggs and putting them in my blender. So I'm going to add just a little bit of heavy cream. This is just going to give some richness. You don't need a great deal of it. I would say probably about 1/4 cup is plenty. All right. So whenever you're creating an egg dish that is going to be cooked, whether it's a quiche or something like this, I find that this is the best time to season your eggs, because once they get on the plate and they're already cooked, they're basically a solid surface. So you would just be putting the seasoning on the outside and it might not be as tasty. So this is a good time for you to season the mixture that is going to go into our little breakfast burrito bites. So I'm going to be putting in garlic first, then the all-purpose seasoning, and I'm also going to be putting in some salt and pepper. Then I'm just going to mix this up for a few seconds and we'll be ready to pour. Okay, we're just going to start pouring into our little cups. And we don't want to overfill these because we want our edges to stay nicely upright. Okay, there we go. So these are going to go into our oven at 375 degrees for about 30 minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes and that was perfect. They are ready. Okay, so they're there, nice and golden. And we're gonna let them sit for a minute because you should let eggs sit. They're gonna sink down just a little bit. And then we'll let CJ taste it for us. This is what we're having for dinner. Okay, there they are. The keto breakfast burrito bites.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, let's breakfast burrito bite it. That was pretty lame.
I like lame. They're very cheesy.
They're good. Simple to make. Sure, if we weren't talking about how to make them,
Yes,
it'd been faster.
definitely.
But no, these are really good. I think this is better than the prototype.
All right, excellent.
I'm not sure why. Maybe because I don't have a bunch of hot sauce on it.
Okay.
And I can actually taste it.
Yeah.
I think it's good, and I think people will like it. So, thanks, baby. Bye.